is somebody that also is talked about quite a bit and has been leading into this competition as well. What was your expectation before you even saw him walk out on stage for Big Ramy?
Well, I don't know if it's my expectation, but I felt like this was a critical contest for him because last year when he did the Olympia, he was not in the kind of condition he needed to be to fulfill a lot of the thoughts that people had that perhaps he's going to be, you know, a true contender for this title. Now he's had another year. He competed in New York. We didn't see that quite level of conditioning again, but I think he looks good here. Has his body matured to the point that he's going to challenge a Phil Heath, for example? No, I don't believe that it has. But I think the bigger question for Big Ramy is, does he finish out of the top 5 or 6 this year, or does he crash that top 5, beat a couple or one of those big names, and start to move up that Olympia ladder, if you will? Just a tremendous amount of muscle. The only thing that's ever going to hold him back is a lack of muscle maturity and a lack of conditioning. And you see here, I think he looked better from the front than he does from the back. When you look at him from the back, you can see that the conditioning in his hamstrings and glutes is not where you would need it to be to really be competing for a first, second, third, assuming that Phil, Kai, and Dennis bring the level of conditioning that we've come accustomed to with them.
He does have the most impressive forehead veins of anyone that I've seen so far in the competition.
Easily.
He looks huge.
Yeah, enormous. But that's never going to be the issue with him.
Pounder shredded on the Olympia stage.
It would be awesome if we could see that.
Hard to tell so far until he hits a pose. What do you think, DJ?
Let me get another look here.
It's tough.
He's definitely big, but I don't see the ab separation here. I hope it's our screen.
He is
I don't
big.
see the chest striations.
Yeah, he looks
But he's big. He's big. But he's
Wow.
probably just always from the back. He's probably just from the back. He's holding a little water from the back. He's got some killer shots like the side chest here. I don't think there's anybody that has a better side chest.
No.
Now here is where the music plays.
Let's see what he's got. He is big though, wow. So I'm detecting a little water here. Would that be right?
Yes, he is holding a little water. Hamstrings and glutes are still holding some water. It's going to be good to see him next to the other guys, the top guys.
Yeah.
You know, because the size, you can't even tell the size right now by him standing by himself.
Yeah.
You got to see how big he is when he's put him next to other guys.
Overwhelming amount of mass right there. He is aptly named Big Ramy Mamdou LSPA. He is big. He's over 300 pounds of muscle right there. Amazing. Look at those quads. Have there ever been bigger quads in bodybuilding?
No, absolutely not.
End of story. No.
Because they're 35 inches. I measured them myself.
Wow.
One time, 35 and a half.
Wow.
Yes, this is his signature pose. He has most muscular hand on the hips and stuff. Looks incredible. There you go.
That's the Hulk right there.
For Big Ramy.
Wow.
of anticipation surrounding
Big Ramy,
the beast from the East. And Bob Ciccarello brings him out, and they call him Big Ramy for a very obvious reason. He is a massive bodybuilder with extreme proportions, massive quad sweep, insane shoulder to shoulder, and he's got it all. I mean, this is a guy who is just loaded with muscle on top of muscle. The bodybuilding world has been waiting for him to put it together. And Sean, I'm going to let you break down what appears to be the most well-conditioned Big Ramy we've ever seen.
He showed up here at 305. Just to see him now at 295, he definitely dropped some water, came all the way from Dubai. It's a very long trip, training with the Camel crew out there at the Oxygen gyms under Bader Budai, working with the legendary trainer Chris Cormier. The thighs are world class. They are huge. He wound up getting here. He won the Kuwaiti Pro Championships, and in doing so, he beat Dexter Jackson and Sean Roden. However, he didn't beat them here last year.
All right, now let's break this thing down. This is an impressive Big Ramy. He was 4th here a year ago. I think he's poised to move up the way he's looking. We're going to see how he compares. Criticize this physique for me. Tell me what's wrong with it.
Well, I mean, the glaring weakness is the calves, obviously. He did tear his hamstring a year ago, so I know that he's lightened up on the hamstring work. You got to be afraid to do that again. So I know he moved very cautiously because his quads are so dominant, so powerful, and those hamstrings are a little bit more delicate and fragile. The upper back and the shoulders and the arms, they're all there. You can see that. The lower back still needs a little bit of work, but it's coming.
Is this the best Big Ramy we've seen?
I'm going to reserve that till I see him standing next to the other guys. Right now, I've seen Ramy in person competing in several different competitions. Ramy's a very dangerous bodybuilder. Again, the only person he didn't beat last year was the reigning champion, and that was Phil Heath. He beat everyone else. And of course, Dexter Jackson beat everyone else, and Sean Roden had a little bite at the apple. So this is going to be one of those things where we got to see them standing next to each other. But right now, Ramy is representing, and when I say big, you got to be out there standing next to this guy. He casts a very big shadow.
At the very least, this is the most confident Big Ramy we've ever seen. This is a different stage presence than we saw from the far more timid bodybuilder that graced the stage when he was first coming up. So this is a guy who's starting to feel it. He knows what this process is all about. He's getting some swagger, and quite frankly,